Let me show you the latest prices for these performance cars. So the Mark 7 Golf R back in 2014. Now I did price this car up in October actually, and it was the cheapest price that I kind of saw was around £15,000. Done the same for November, checked it again, £15,000 again. So they're holding strong. They really are holding their money. And considering a 2014 Mark 7 Golf R would have had a retail price of about 30 grand, you know, they really are holding strong. And these cars are mega miles as well, 120,000, 80,000, 90,000. So these are the big mile cars. You know, you can easily pay over £20,000 comfortably a good Mark 7 Golf R on, say, like a 2017 plate. It's strong money, but I obviously, part of my channel around the Golf R, I think it's a bargain, to be honest with you, if you find a good one. So the next one, the Mark 8 Golf R, again I priced this one up in October and it was £41,000 was the cheapest. That same car is actually still for sale at 41,000, but there's not too many at the 41 mark. They creep up to 42, 43,000. It's a lot of money, and as you can see, the retail price of these cars is sort of 40 grand, so it's like they're actually kind of gone up from retail, which is just incredible. Even ones without that many options are still quite expensive. So yeah, you're not going to see a Mark 8 Golf R for less than £41,000. So the Audi Rs3, a 2017 car. Now I've seen quite a few cars up for sale, obviously being a popular model, and they range from around sort of 35, 36, but there's not too many around that price. They comfortably go into the 40s, and actually I've seen one for as much as a 2020 car for as much as £55,000. And when you think about the new model, which I want to share my thoughts on soon, has a starting price of about £52,000. What is that going to be like on the used market? It's going to be absolutely fascinating. But regardless, I've gone for a November price of £36,000 for the Audi Rs3. When you consider back in 2017, that car had a retail price of £44,000. I mean, it's only gone down £8,000. I think that's pretty good, and it's going to be interesting to see how much it holds its money when the new model comes out. So the Mark III Focus RS, one of my favourite cars, and actually a car that I did sort of share on the channel back in October, and I saw it for around about £24,000. That's what you get it for. Today, honestly, I looked through loads and there's not a good one personally for me for less than 26,000, and that's what I've gone for the November price, which again is very strong money, and that's for a sort of like a high miler car. There were a lot of suspect cars basically, so you're going to have to be spending well into the high 20s to get a decent one, and that car came at a starting retail price of £30,000, so it's only gone down 4 grand in 5 years. I think it's exceptional, and, you know, last possible RS and still holding its money strong. So the Mark 7 40th edition, a car I've shared on this channel recently with a series, and again there's a high miler up there for £19,000, but I think that's a bit of an anomaly, to be honest, with these 40ths, because that didn't really have any options either, and I want to try and keep this as fair as I can. There were a lot sort of around the £25,000 mark, but there were a couple more for sort of 22, 23,000. Again, quite a hard one to kind of judge, but I've gone for a November price of £23,000 for that car. Bear in mind it had a retail price of £31,000. It's only gone down 8 grand. And again, a 5-year-old car, I think that's pretty impressive due to its limited run. Now the 45 edition, another car that I've run on this channel before as well. Fantastic car. Limited run. They're not even selling these cars anymore, even though it's just come out in 2021. They're not available on the Volkswagen website. I did do this in October, and it had a low price of around 43,000. There was one up for 43,000. Checking today, there's a few more up. In fact, there's 4, and they're all 47 to 48,000 pounds. So that's my November price, 47. And considering that car had a retail price of actually just below 40,000 pounds, the difference is a plus £7,000 on that car. Absolutely incredible. I wonder what the owner of the one that I test drove is thinking about doing with this car, because, you know, it's a quick, easy money. It's easy win, really. But I can't imagine that falling, particularly as the cars are just not being built. So the Mark 8 Gti Club Sport, similar to the 45, but not as much in a limited run. Now, I did do this car back in October as well, and I saw one for 34,000, and that seemed about fair, to be fair. But checking through this and looking through all of them, November price is 36,000, so it's gone up. It's gone up by 2 grand from price to price, which is pretty incredible. And considering that car's a retail price of $37,000, it's only actually gone down £1,000. Again, incredible for a brand new car, but a car I really did enjoy driving on the channel. So a standard Mark 8 GTI. Now I did see one with 40,000 miles for just over 28 grand, but again, that was a bit of an anomaly, to be honest with you. All the others were sort of 31, 32, 33,000 pounds. And based on that, and based on checking it all through, I've given it a November price of £31,000. Retail price for that car today is $34,000, and that's just for a 5-door manual. So it's only gone down by $3,000, and that's just for a bog standard Mark 8 Golf GTI. We're on to the Mark 7.5s, because I thought I'd include the facelifts as well in this list. From a 2017 car, again, it's the facelift. I checked for a few, and you could see some Mark 7 sort of popping up in there as well. But checking through from just the 7.5 facelift, I've given this a November price of £20,000. Bear in mind, the retail price of this car is about £29,000. It's down 9 grand over the retail year, but £20,000, that's what you're looking to pay for a 7.5 Golf GTI. GTI TCR Mark 7.5. So this is a car that I'm hoping to drive on the channel this month in November. And yeah, really strong money, this car. I've checked through loads. They're all in the 30s to low to mid 30s, which is pretty incredible. And based on all of that research, I've given it a November price of $31,000, had a retail price of $34,000, so it's only gone down 3 grand. And these are for cars which have been used sort of 20-30,000 miles. Absolutely incredible, and obviously a well sought after car, and I'm hopefully looking forward to drive it soon and sharing it with you all. So the Mark 7.5 Golf R. Checked through a lot, and there were quite a few out there, obviously, because it's such a popular car. There was one with a huge amount of miles, over 90,000, and that was still up for 22 grand. So that was an anomaly. There were really, really expensive cars, and I've been quite fair on this one. November price for that car, 23,000, but to be honest with you, it's probably a tiny bit more than that if you're looking to get a decent one. Retail price of that car was £36,000, so it's down 13,000, but still very strong money. So onto the Porsche Cayman 718. Now this is a car that I did share in October, to be fair, and I had a price of 37,000. Checking through it again, checking through all the cars, it's exactly the same. November price of 37,000, and this is basically for a base spec, no optioned car with 30,000 miles, if not more, 40,000 miles for one. Retail price of that car in 2016 was 40 grand, so it's only gone down 3 grand in 5 years. That's pretty incredible, that one. Going on the Porsche theme, the Porsche Mccann Gts, this has been about in 2016 as well. November price for me, quite simple, 40 grand. There wasn't one less than 40 grand. That had a retail price of £55,000, so it's down 15,000. But you've got to bear in mind, these cars have done like 70,000 miles, and you've been driving around in a Porsche Mccann. It's absolutely incredible. But the Porsches just hold their money so well, and you can enjoy a car for so many years and really not lose anything other than just paying for servicing and maintenance. So the Mark 7.5 Fiesta St, similar to a car, well, these Spirit Blue ones are exactly the same as a car that I actually owned from 2013 through till 2017. Great cars. I regret selling it. For instance, I sold my car in 2017 for £9,000 to a dealer. It'd done 38,000 miles. It was an ST2 in Spirit Blue. I was the only owner. I owned it from new. Today, you'd be lucky to get a 105,000 mile car for less than 6,500. So they are still strong. There are loads about. It's very hard to find one, but some are well looked after, which is great. I checked through all of them. November price of that car is £7,000. It had a retail price of about 18 grand back in 2013. So it's down a little bit, but wow, I think they're really, really good value, and they hold their money quite well as well for a little hot hatch, and a car that I really do enjoy. So the Mark 8 Fiesta St, a car that I did in October, had a price of £14,000 for that. In November, it's exactly the same, 14,000. And in fact, there were still some 7.5s popping up around that sort of money as well for like a decent one, or an ST200, which was quite incredible. But yeah, if you want to get a Mark 8, it's going to cost you about 14 grand. Retail price of that car was 20 grand, but obviously it's now 3 to 4 years old now. Lost about 6 grand, but again, Mark 8 Fiesta St is holding up strong. I do believe they'll get close to 10 grand though soon. So the Mark 7 Golf Gti Club Sport S limited run car, I found 5 for sale in November, and unfortunately all of these cars were basically around 38, 39, 40 grand. And in fact the one for 41 grand had said sold. So pretty simply, November price of that car is £40,000. And these are cars with sort of like 10, 15,000 miles as well. Retail price of that car is 33 grand, so we're up 7 grand if you had that car. Pretty fantastic for this limited run, stripped out hardcore hot hatch. So final car, 992 Porsche 911 Carrera, just the base car. This came out in 2020, and it's just to give you a good idea of where it is. I did share this car in October, and it had a low price of 93,000. In November, it's gone up 94,000. Incredibly, that 992 had a retail price of 83 grand. So you're up £11,000. Honestly, the Porsches are the way to go. These Germans, they just hold their money, and they're so popular in the UK. But yeah, what a result there. And just to give you a full summary of the list here so you can see and get an idea, and I'll sort of cover this sort of month on month on sort of like the start of the month to give you an idea of where we're at and how the market is kind of changing specifically on these cars. I think the highlights for me have got to be some of like the Porsches, to be fair, even the ones that you can see here that have lost a little bit of money, the Mccann Gts or the 718. It's not that much, and these are for cars like the Mccanns have done a lot of miles. I think that's pretty incredible. Obviously the 992 is exceptional, and the Club Sport S, but then you look at the 45, it's gone up as well, and a Mark 8 Golf R has slightly gone up. Some of the highlights as well are the ones that haven't lost that much money either. £1,000 here, £3,000 there. You know, a TCR, what a great car that is. But difference per month I think is quite interesting, and as we go through the months we'll get a better clearer picture of that. But you take like the Focus RS in 2016, that's gone up 2 grand from the previous month. Club Sport 45's gone up 4 grand. The normal Club Sport's gone up 2 grand, and the Porsche 992 911 Carrera has gone up 1,000. So that's pretty incredible. But overall, a November price of the cars that I've shared on this list is £561,000, and they all had a retail price of £634,000. I think that's pretty good residuals for, you know, used and well used cars. To lose less than 73,000 is pretty strong, and the difference per month will be interesting to kind of see. But actually all the ones that I've kind of gone from October have either stayed the exact same or gone up in money. Overall at the moment it's up 9 grand, but I need to get a better list in December and share it all with you all. But I hope you found this useful. Please comment if you feel there's any sort of issues with the sheet. I want to improve this month on month, and I want to use it to help you guys out. I'm really surprised. November, December, January, these are the months where the cars should be at their lowest, so this should be the time to get them, but they're just sort of holding firm really, if not going up a little bit, which means there's probably going to be a spike in 2022. These cars are going to go up in money further, so again it still could be a good time to buy a car and then potentially sell it next year. But let's keep on top of this. I'll share it with you all if you like this video and enjoy it, and to be honest with you, I'm keeping my eye out because I kind of want an addition to my Mark 7 Golf R on the side, so let's see if one of these cars can fit into that scope.